The game ain't based on sympathy. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Action Jackson. And in today's video, man, I'm going to be giving you guys the recap of the Cowboys versus Jaguars Week 4 preseason for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, man, let's hop into the video, man. Let's get it. All right, man, so we ended up losing the game. We ended up getting scraped, man, 34-14. We just got absolutely blown out. But you know, most of the game, we didn't have any of our starters, our real starters, playing. We mostly have some of our second string, mostly our third stringers were out there today. So, you know, I wasn't really gaining, you know, I didn't really, right now, especially with the Cowboys having that extra week of preseason, like how all preseason has been to see your rookies and see what your depth looks like and things like that. So I wasn't really in tune. You know, I wasn't really super upset with the game today. You know, it's just our third stringers to see what they bring and things like that. Who's going to possibly make the roster? Who's going to get cut? Things like that. So, Cooper Rush, he came in, started out the game in the first quarter, midway through this. About halfway through the second quarter, he started. We didn't do much with anything with him on the field. We ended up scoring with Garrett Gilbert about like the 4-minute mark. He scored a touchdown to Parker, Aaron Parker, I believe his name is, number 18. You know, at that point it was like 17. It was like 17-7 at that point because the Jaguars had just kicked the field goal. Then Dallas went down there and scored with Garrett Gilbert. But most of the points that the Jaguars scored were just off of Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Beathard. You know, as you guys probably heard the news yesterday evening. You know, the Jaguar, they traded away Minshew to the Philadelphia Eagles. So, you know, their backup now is C.J. Beathard backing up, you know, Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence, man, the Dallas Cowboys secondary had Trevor Lawrence looking like he was a future Hall of Famer, man. And they had him out there looking like Joe Montana. You know, obviously, we didn't have Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, and Jordan Lewis out there, who is most likely going to be your Week 1 starters against Tampa in 11 days. So RQ couldn't really gauge anything really, but what you could have got taken away was that, you know, Kelvin Joseph got beat up on the sideline. Trevor Lawrence threw a dime, you know, Kelvin Joseph led up that big play, and then later on in that first quarter, Kelvin Joseph was out for a groin injury. Then they were attacking Nahshon Wright. Nahshon Wright got beat on one play too. He let up a touchdown, but other than that, he was pretty solid for the rest of the game. But the cornerback that Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Beathard, mostly C.J. Beathard, because that's when Trey Burton came out, our cornerback number 33 on the team. Bro, I don't believe he's going to make the roster number 33. He literally got exposed today. Like, any single time that C.J. Beathard was in the game and whoever was running the route on 33, C.J. Beathard just kept attacking him all day and night. They literally had a game plan where they were just throwing out 33 the entire time, and they just kept going at him, and they kept doing that for like a couple drives to where they was able to score about 2 touchdowns off of Burton. So, honestly, man, I don't believe he's going to make the roster. You know, and then obviously right now we have like an 80-something man roster right now. And then obviously by Tuesday, I think about like Tuesday evening, they'll have to cut the roster down to 53. And, you know, with this roster, there's going to be a lot of guys that like maybe draft picks that we liked during the scouting report of the draft, they might not even make the roster. So something like a Simi Fehoko, since the wide receiver room is so deep, I don't believe that Simi Fehoko probably makes the roster. I think he probably makes a practice squad. But I don't know if you guys tuned into the preseason game. You know, when John Lynch because they were interviewing all the Hall of Famers within the press conference. You know, in the press box. You know, they were interviewing all the Hall of Famers like Calvin Johnson, Drew Pearson, and everything like that. I remember when John Lynch was in the presser, and it was with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You know, John Lynch complimented on us, the Cowboys, getting Simi Fehoko. So if Simi Fehoko makes it to the practice squad, he's going to get attention from other teams. But I won't be surprised if the Niners come and they swoop him in, and then he probably makes their active roster. And plus, you know, Simi Fehoko, he's a Stanford kid. You know, he won't be too far from where he went to school at. So Ben DiNucci came in, and Benucci was doing Benucci-like things, man. He was out there. He threw. It looked like there was 2 times blatantly looks like he was just trying to throw the ball to the Jaguars' opponents. He threw one to 42 for the Jaguars, like literally threw it to him, and 42 dropped it on the defender for the Jaguars. Like Benucci threw it to him directly. Like the receiver was like triple double covered, and he still threw it, and he threw it directly. Not even the vicinity where that the receiver can make a play. He threw it to where directly to the defender where he could easily pick it off. But the whatever position he played, linebacker or safety, he didn't expect it. I know he didn't, because that's why he ended up dropping the ball. He was on himself after that. But Benucci almost threw like 2 or 3 blatant interceptions, but he luckily those all were dropped. And Benucci, he ended up scoring in garbage time yards. He ended up scoring a last-minute touchdown with like I think a minute or 37 left was left on the clock. He ended up driving down. He ended up scoring and things like that. So Benucci scored, and then that's when the final score was 34-14. Benucci, I believe, is probably going to be on the practice squad again, or he might not even make the roster. So it's one of the two. He's going to get cut, never get picked up by anybody, or 2, he's going to get cut, clear through waivers, and then he's just going to be on the practice squad again. Like I said, I already went over. Wide receiver room is pretty filled up. You already got your trio at, you already got your trio at wide receiver. Then you got Ced Wilson, Noah Brown. Like a lot of people are saying within the Cowboys community, we don't know how many they're gonna carry deep at wide receiver, and I don't know how deep they're gonna carry at quarterback either, because Cooper Rush, he's probably, I feel like, might make the roster. I think they might carry 3 deep, so Dak and then 2 more backups with it probably being Garrett and Cooper Rush. Benucci's not going to make the roster. Whoever gets cut is going to probably be between Benucci and Cooper Rush, and out of the 2, I think Benucci's probably going to be the one to get the cut. So aside from the preseason game, we have the regular season coming up in 11 days. And, I don't have any concerns or worries anyway. I just want to see, is La'el Collins going to participate more in practice? Because I believe 2 days ago, La'el Collins, he had a neck stinger in practice, and he had to walk, he walked off and things like that on his own. Thank God. It's these little knick-knack injuries that I'm kind of concerned about with my team, but especially my tackles. Because the tackles, and La'el Collins, we have heard nothing from Tyron Smith, knock on wood. Thank God he's perfectly fine. We haven't heard anything bad from camp. I'm great. I'm very excited about that. But La'el Collins always seems like he's the one lately that's been with all these knick-knack injuries, and it seems like whatever Tyron Smith had, it got off of him and it went to La'el Collins. It looks like La'el Collins, he's coming up with some new injury every day or every other day, Nothing bad, nothing saying nothing bad about La'el Collins, but it's just like, he's just been getting roughed up a little bit. So I believe he'll be fine. He will start week 1, because if it was more serious, we would have known about it. So I believe La'el Collins is going to start week 1, and then Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, he's been mostly having throws. He's been participating in 11-on-11, 7-on-7s. He's been mostly participating in camp, which is great. But obviously he sat out some weeks because if you saw in the Hard Knocks and things like that, they were sending him down because he was coming off. He fully had rehab from his ankle, but they didn't want to fully throw him into the fire in practice, so they were holding him out, and the Cowboys were being really conservative with Dak Prescott about his ankle. And then with his shoulder strain, they didn't want him to rough up and didn't want to take anything. One thing, I believe this can be a pro, this can be a negative, there can be a pro or a con with the Cowboys. The pro for them right now is that they are saving Dak, obviously, for bigger and better things, which is the regular season. They're not going to put him in a meaningless game like preseason for him to possibly get hurt. So I understand they didn't put him in the preseason game because he's our starter quarterback, and we have nobody else to replace him, and Dallas will not go out and go get a quarterback to come and help with this team. They're going to, whatever quarterbacks are on the roster, they're going to stick with. Super conservative, could it possibly hurt them? I don't know, because Dak Prescott, he has been sitting out a while. He hasn't had any real game reps in like since almost a year ago in October against the Giants. That was the last time he had any sort of real NFL game snaps. Yeah, he's in practice and things like that, but like in practice, you don't touch the quarterback. No matter if it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th string quarterback, you do not touch the quarterback in any practice. And if you see it, it happens everyone, every level: preschool, middle school, high school, college, NFL. You do not touch the quarterback during practice. You do not. So it's not like Dak is getting roughed up by a Michael Parsons or a Randy Gregory or you know what I'm saying. He's not getting hurt. He's not getting hit by nobody. So he's not really facing any contact. So I believe Dak will be just fine. I believe they're just saving him up for week 1. Obviously, that's obviously what they've been doing. But I believe he's going to come out there. But my thing is, are they going to automatically throw him out there? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, how large is his plate going to be week 1? Are they going to ask him to throw the ball 50 times, or are they going to ask him to, we'll be a well balanced team where we hand off the ball a couple times to Tony Pollard, Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Let the offensive line work in the trenches, and then off the run game, we base play actions, or like, what are we going to do with a Dak Prescott come week 1? You know what I'm saying? That's my only kind of like, what are we going to do with Dak Prescott? Are we automatically going to fill up his plate week 1? Are we going to ask him just to come back lightly? We'll make you handoffs and touch passes and things like that. Like, I'm really curious as to what Dallas is going to do come week 1. I believe Dak will be just fine. Dak has been ready. He's been so eager to come and play on the football. He's been so eager to come and play. So I believe that he's, and a lot of people are downing him. And, this is going to be a great story if he comes out here week 1 and lights it up against Tampa and we win. This is going to be something to feed off of during the rest of the season, Because imagine coming out of the season that you just had, injury-riddled season, you come out and you beat the defending Super Bowl champs. Imagine that confidence, that sort of confidence you will have in the team, not only as a fan, but within themselves, that they will have that they're like, damn, we can compete with the defending Super Bowl champs who just won the Super Bowl a couple, 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be a huge confidence booster. We come out and we beat Tampa. So, I just went over the preseason, went over possibly what the Cowboys can possibly do week 1 with Dak Prescott, how they're bringing along Dak Prescott, possible, people coming back from injury, things like that. So that's all for the video, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be posting more videos lately. I've been getting caught up with school and work and things like that. But now since I have a couple of days off, I'm going to try and pump out some videos and things like that. So thank you guys for tuning in again. Hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.